Quite a lot of wob.
To be honest, if it drove past, you wouldn't think that it was a facelift. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah. We've got the new Porsche Taycan Facelift, which was released earlier this year. Let's go for a drive for some real-world motoring journalism without saying the word depreciation. Randomly, we bump into a Taycan owner who's had the turbo model for 3 years. We get his reaction to the new car and he gives us his honest opinion of the outgoing model. But the question is this good enough to bring back the confidence in the Taycan market, which has been smashed by the poor residual values? Let us know what you think in the comments. What Porsche have done incredibly well with this car is make it feel like a performance vehicle. You know, this doesn't feel like an EV to me. So there's something quite interesting I was watching the other day, Chris Harris talking about the new M5 Touring and people complaining about the weight of it. And what he's explaining is weight only matters if you can feel it. Driving this Taycan, it doesn't feel like a heavy car. The acceleration is incredible. I'd admit in saying that it's very similar to driving a 911 in some ways. The driving position's great, you're nice and low down, you've got loads of confidence in the corners. I really, really like the drive of this car. This is kind of like perfect country lanes. It feels light, it feels nimble. And my biggest takeaway from this car is it doesn't feel like you're driving an EV. One of the biggest issues with EVs has often been ride quality. Porsche have been quite clever here. All the models come with air suspension as standard, so there's no Cayenne Turbo GT. I think that was one of ours actually. It's properly quick. The only time having anything quicker than that is of any benefit is if it's a party trick. That's literally it. One thing I've noticed on some road surfaces, it almost feels like there's a slight humming or vibration through the steering wheel. And when I've driven this back to back with the EQS, there's a noticeable difference in comfort. If I was doing a really long journey, that could get quite annoying. Have to have a look when we get out, but it might just be down to the fact that it's got run flat tyres on it. But there's a little bit of road noise coming through and a little bit of vibration through the steering wheel. And maybe Porsche have taken the overfeel a little bit too far. Quite a lot of wob. There is quite a lot of driver assistance, as you'd imagine, in the latest EV. It's quite good, I think. The issue will be when people get so used to the driver assistant packages on these new cars, like the collision braking assistance, the lane keep assist, and then you get in a car and you actually have to think for yourself. It could be quite dangerous. Taycan's just pulled up behind us. Let's see if we can have a quick chat with him and see what his thoughts are on it, and if he likes the new one. Hiya, pal. Just doing some filming with the new Taycan. Have you seen one yet? Yeah, this is the new facelift one.
Yeah, hold on one second.
How long have you had this Taycan for?
3 years tomorrow.
So you've had it from new?
Yeah.
Did you buy it through a business?
Yes.
Yeah.
The differences are very subtle. To be honest, if it drove past, you wouldn't think that it was a facelift. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a whole new model, it's just facelift. The lights on the previous model are sunken in a little bit, and then you've got those
I
lines
can see
that drop
the way
down.
it works.
I mean,
every time I've seen a facelift, after a while, that will look dated.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the way it goes. But when you look at them right now, the differences are very subtle.
Yeah, quite
you see
marginal.
little on the rear view.
What do you think of the ride quality of your Taycan, having lived with it?
Best car I've driven.
Really?
Absolutely
Love it.
Fantastic. Love it, honestly. I would have got rid of it ages ago if I didn't like it. But
Yeah.
I'm keeping it at least another year.
Do you want to have a quick sit in the inside, see if you notice any
let's have a look
differences?
inside. You know what? This was annoying. It still is annoying.
What's that?
When you open the center console as a driver, to get anything in and out, the way you have to reach around, you can't generally tend to do it. You sort of like stick it up with your elbow and then grab something while you're trying to keep an eye on the road. It is, I thought they'd make it, like a flip one way, it'd be a bit easier, but they haven't
Yeah, I see what you
addressed
mean.
it.
When that comes up, it's like almost like completely in the way of where you...
Exactly. Other than that, it seems exactly the same, to be honest.
I think the big thing on these is they've got more efficient motors, the range is much better.
Yeah.
They're saying that it feels, I think, more engaging to drive. One thing I noticed, I did get almost too much feedback through the steering wheel.
Okay.
Like a little bit of micro vibration almost.
Right. But is it still air suspension on all these models?
They've now brought air suspension in as standard.
Right.
So
The air suspension is standard. I'm surprised you get any kickback.
I think it's the it's the tyres.
Yeah, could be.
It's run flats.
Because it's so, like I've had other cars which are, supercars, so to speak, and the ride on this, the Taycan, it's absolutely.
Yours has got air suspension, I take it then. Yeah. I wouldn't have
mine's
it without.
a turbo.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
So on the turbo it came as standard.
Yeah,
I didn't have to put it on. So that's why I thought by the time you spec everything up, it gets too high. But what you need to do is you need the powers that be to make if we're gonna go to net zero, and we're gonna have all electric from 2030, there has to be an incentive for people to buy a used electric car. Right now, you get 100%. Your incentives on a new one, and you look at the prices now of used ones.
Yeah.
Nobody will buy this car new in bulk unless they're part of a business.
100%, yeah. I mean, we do a lot of work with Stockport and Winslow, and they were saying they didn't sell any to private customers.
Because nobody's going to buy it. And now on the news last week, I heard that it costs you more to charge an electric car than to fill with petrol.
Yeah.
So when you get that kind of dynamic running on, and then people are thinking, oh, these depreciate massively, we're not going to sell these, and these are fantastic cars. And this is the future. The sooner we embrace it, the better.
Yeah.
But somebody in government needs to look at incentives.
Yeah, on used cars.
On used cars.
Yeah, because it's all there for new, isn't it?
Exactly. But, it's a no-brainer. If you've got your own business, if you're not buying an electric car now, I don't understand.
Yeah, why aren't you?
You can run. I'm running that for less than a 5 Series that I replaced it with.
Yeah. What line of business are you in?
Travel business.
Oh, right, yeah.
So been running travel agency for 30 years now.
Yeah.
Alongside Manchester.
Yeah.
Do you want to give yourself a shout out?
We do holidays to Middle East and the Far East, and it's Royal Travel Limited. Website is www.royaltravel.co.uk. Right, I want to go and grab my coffee.
Absolutely,
Sorry,
I need some caffeine as well.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
What a legend. So we just bumped into Kaleem there. He's nipping into Costa Coffee. He's given us like a full lowdown review on his car, how his ownership's been. He's had a turbo for 3 years, and he's like giving us the ins and outs of it. It's absolute gold. So we're actually on our way to Porsche Centre Stockport. We've been lent this Taycan just because there's been a slight delay on the new Macan EV coming out. We're going to do a video on that. I'm really excited to get in that car. I've never even sat in one. We spec'd it nearly 2 years ago. I can't remember even what the spec is on it. I've not looked at the spec for ages, so we'll have an unveil of that and see if what we chose is still what we think is a good spec, so who knows. So we've got the original Taycan here, and then the facelift model. The biggest giveaways are the lights here. On the old model, they're sunk back a little bit. We haven't got these blades that run down on the bumper. There's obviously a load of new wheel designs as well. Down the side of the vehicle, there's not much has changed. Oh, the charging port's open there. We've got charging ports on both sides now. From behind, you're going to struggle to spot the new Taycan. Slightly different here, I think, and then you can get the optional backlit Porsche logo on there, which is going to look really cool. But from behind, very, very similar. The main upgrades, I think, on the new Taycan really are the performance upgrades, motors, the batteries and things like that. Obviously, the range topping 500 plus miles is pretty groundbreaking for the EV market. Thanks for following along with the new facelift Taycan video. We're now going to go inside, pick up the new Macan EV. I'm absolutely buzzing to see this. Like and subscribe, and have a watch of our new review of the new Macan EV.